Are you ready to start hanging some Christmas lights? Well, I hope you are because right now we are the week before Thanksgiving, and this is the time that I know that if you're hanging Christmas lights, you are going to be busy. You're going to have your phone ringing off the hook. You're going to have all different kinds of things happening to you. And so that is for sure something that is going to happen with you, and hopefully your business is busy and everything is going good. So today, actually the other day, I went over to my mom's house and I installed Christmas lights on her house, not on the house, on the tree. I did these here on my house a couple weeks ago, and so I always love doing Christmas lights. Today, I went over into a friend of my house in Burlington here. It's called Lights on Tasha. He does a huge display and he has a big mega tree and all different kinds of things of doing. And so Christmas lights, I love doing them. I love hanging them, and it is definitely an easy add-on so that you can make lots of money in doing that. And so one guy I'm going to talk about a little bit about tonight is Mr. A guy out of Louisville, Indiana, Louisville, Indiana, Louisville, Indiana. And he is one, man, my green screen has got me green a little bit. I can fade that in. Nope. And so he is one about, it was 3 years ago, right around this time. He came up to Cincinnati to do a training with me. It was the November 10th, and this is his third year doing it. So he's done it 2 full years of doing it, and this is his third year. And he was a grass mowing guy. He's a landscape guy, doing pretty well. I think he was right around $750 to $1 million doing Christmas lights. And he's like, I need something to do for my guys so that they can stay busy during the wintertime or during, a couple months, so that way I don't have to lay them off and then I got to try to get new help coming back. And so he was like, I need to find something to do. And when he did this, and I'm giving I'm doing the training like I normally do, and I'm giving him the prices and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, I just need something to do for a couple months. I don't need this big giant business. I really don't want this big giant business. And so so if you join pressurewashhelp.com, christmaslightshelp.com/free, you get into the Facebook group. And so in the Facebook group, Jason sent me this, he posted this yesterday, or actually 7 hours ago. He posted it today. 31 voicemails yesterday I haven't even listened to. Facebook, 28 leads, haven't responded yet. Who wants to come to Louisville and put up lights? We are booked out to December 5th. Now, a couple weeks ago, about a couple weeks ago, he was like, man, I am so busy, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to be able to get all this done. And of course, my first reaction is always, when people are that way, raise your prices. So he was around $6 a foot. I'm like, go to $8 a foot. And so the beautiful thing about when we start raising prices like this, and we start pushing harder into our pricing and we start raising it up, the beautiful thing of it is next year, when we do them again next year, we have all these customers at $8 and $10 a foot that come back. And now we have a beautiful thing. That is awesome, Brian. So my first job today, 180 feet with a reef, 1830 with 50% down. Installs next Wednesday at 9 a.m. Beautiful thing right there. Awesome. And so even on this post here that he posted this on here, this was something that I'm like, we got to raise our prices, because here's the deal. We can stay cheap. We can, at this point, when we start raising our prices up to hang Christmas lights, we, when we're that far booked out, we don't want no more jobs, really. We don't need no more jobs. We don't really want more jobs. We do, but if we're going to get a job, it's going to pay very well at the end of the day. And so that is the beauty of doing Christmas lights. Now, the real beauty of doing Christmas lights is next year you get to make even more money. Now, like I say, I like hanging Christmas lights. I like helping other people hang Christmas lights. I have helped a lot of people do Christmas lights. Again, Donovan, he does Christmas lights, and Christmas lights can make a lot of money. Donovan's another one that went to $10 a foot. Why is he going to $10 a foot? Because he's got so much work that you can only do so much at the end of the day. Unless you're just planning on bringing in a lot of people and trying to manage a lot of things going on, you can only get you if you only got a crew or two. There's only so much you can do, and so this is where you start transitioning and going to get rid of basically what the pumpkin plan book teaches. We're going to start cutting off the sucker pumpkins so that we can grow big pumpkins. Because next year we don't want to be doing these $500 jobs. We want to do the $3,000 jobs. And so this is the beautiful thing about growing a business and being successful and growing a business so that it is successful. Because a lot of times, and I see it in the groups, I can't get this much because blah, 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 blah. I have so much competition. At the end of the day, it comes down about getting leads. And so one thing I want to show about this is, Jason does spend some money in AdWords. He spends money on Facebook. But one of the guys on there wrote this, and I want to show you this. That's awesome. What's been your best? I have 1,000 signs, not 100 signs, not 500 signs. I have 1,000 signs. They're sitting in my shop. Facebook has brought me in 250 leads already. Can't keep up. Again, this is something that we're not just putting out 100 signs and saying, "Well, nobody's calling." I don't know why nobody's calling. Why ain't nobody calling? Because I only put out 100 signs. No, it's about blasting it everywhere. And now is really kind of late to get into the game. I mean, I'm not saying you can't get into the game now, but right now, it's kind of the part of it now is, if you order signs a day, you're probably not going to get them till after Thanksgiving. And I'm not saying you can't learn Christmas lights now. In fact, I would suggest to go ahead and start learning this year. So when next year comes, you will be on the ball. You'll have your system down. You'll know what to do, what not to do, how to start doing it. Then you will be able to really push through and get to it. Like I say, again, he didn't say I had 100 signs at the shop. He said he had 1,000 signs at the shop. And so that is definitely something that you have to look at and do. Yep, and that's part of doing business. That's part of doing business. That's just there's lots of cost in it, and that's part of doing business. I started loving my signs when I took painting. I love my signs. Signs are a great way. So I was talking to my buddy that has a big light show on Tasha, and he was talking. He does some hanging Christmas lights and stuff like that, and so he started putting these signs out. Well, he's like, "Daggone, Jason, you were right. That will make the phone ring." I'm like, "You better believe it will make the phone ring." And that's the thing. I showed a couple days ago of another dude's signs that were out there. I don't know if I still have that or not yet. I don't think I do. I don't know where it is. Nope, not that. Nope. I don't know what it is. But, there's some other guys' signs out there. You just put them across the street, put them somewhere else. And guess what? Things will happen. And this is, I put out 0 signs this year. They arrived today. Almost all leads came from Jason's Advice and GMB. And that is, and that's the other thing. this year, even if, Christmas lights isn't something that your first year you're going to get rich on. It's just not going to happen. But what we can do on our first year is start getting pictures. We can start working on our Google My Business. We can start getting reviews. Maybe we do 5, 10 jobs our first year and we get 5 or 10 reviews. Then we can go put our pictures in there. And then we can start doing our citations. And then we can start doing different things for our Christmas light business. And so by doing that, it will help us grow our business at the end of the day. So I want to just show you. Let's see if I can find this here. Um, see if it'll come up. The Google My Business. Nope, it ain't gonna come up. So Google My Business is definitely something that we need to work on. That is something that will help make our phone ring. And again, I know a lot of guys that are so busy this year that they're giving leads away. I know this guy right here. He's basically, if you're not at this price, see you. So that means there's a lot of other people that, if you are the $6 a foot, there's still a lot of leads out there. You just got to go find them, or maybe get up with somebody. I also heard another guy down in Florida that he's so busy that he's giving leads away because he cannot keep up with them. He is so busy that he is overwhelmed at what he's got. Now, is that going to happen every year? Who knows? Who knows? I mean, who would have thought in 2020 that the world would turn upside down and people would be wanting to buy lights like crazy? I would have never guessed it in a million years. If you would have told me that in 2020 people would be wearing masks and not being able to go out to eat and stuff like that, and people are staying home and they're having home services done and all that kind of stuff, I would have told you are crazy. But you know what? It's definitely what happened. Just shared the live to Facebook group. Hopefully we'll have guys join and ask questions. And that exactly, ask questions because I love questions, and questions are definitely something that we can do. I can hang lights, send me leads. Hey Jason, do you have pictures I can use temporarily for my website until I can grow my business? That's a great question. You go to christmaslightshelp.com/free. I have about a couple hundred pictures in the, I believe it's in the marketing section of, actually it's not, it's in my membership, and I do have several hundred photos in there so that you can use those. And so that way um, you can make them whatever you want. And they're not nothing. I've seen this picture here getting used a bunch here lately. So it is definitely something that, this picture here, actually, I don't think this picture is in the membership group, but I think it has gotten stolen and done. I don't care. It don't bother me. I know where the original picture come from. I know who took the original picture. I did. This house here is in Greendale, Indiana. It's actually a realtor, and he's a realtor, and this is the office, and this is what we do. What are the good add-on? Wreath, icicles, tree wraps. Throw the icicles in the garbage can and get them out of your head. Icicles suck. They're bad for callbacks. They're bad for all different kinds of things. Because what happens, well, not so much down there because you don't know what this stuff is, but what happens with icicles, a lot of times they'll blow up into the gutter, and then we have this stuff called snow, and then they freeze, and then it sucks. So get rid of that. Reefs are a good thing to upsell. Trees, stuff like that, bushes. If you want to be stupid, garland. I don't really like garland. Garland can kind of be a pain in the neck. For instance, I'm going to show you something on this house here. So if you look here at my garland on the 2 posts here, where I have the 2 posts here, let me move this out of the way. Maybe that way you can see it better. There's people that this is actually considered not right because it points away from the door. A lot of people want garland pointing into the door, and so or what sometimes my guys, what they would do is they would put one way and one the other way, and then they sit there and complain about that. And so, you know, garland is one of those things that is, um, the other thing what happens is this here is two sections and two sections of garland. This isn't one section because one section wouldn't fit. So one section of garland is anywhere from $40 to $60 for decent garland. So you're looking at $120 per pillar of garland of our cost. This isn't marking it up. This is our cost. And so that's why each pillar will be anywhere from $200 to $250 per pillar. And so, garland is not cheap. Garland is very expensive, and garland can be a really pain in the neck. I tried to stay away from garland. And with garland, you kind of need some fluffers and stuff like that. We got Donovan in here. He's the fluffer, but that definitely. Donovan, how's the Twinkly going? Have you used it yet? It's pretty awesome. I have to say, it is amazing. I actually just did a video. I just edited today. I just edited a video today, and it will be out probably either for tomorrow. I'm gonna put it out either tomorrow or Monday, and it's not got anything to do with Twinkly, but it has the Twinkly lights in it. It's how to install lights on a it's how to install lights on a tree. And I kind of at the end you can kind of see all the different sequences of it, and it's pretty cool. You know, for what I don't know if you have any left on your website. If you do, Donovan, stick it up on the put your thing there for if you have any of the Twinkly left. But the tree that I did would be. Let me see. I think I can show it here. The tree that I did would be around. I think it's like $400 cost. But this is something you could probably upsell pretty much of $1,200. This is a 20-foot tree that I did it on, and it is pretty cool. I have to admit it. I didn't realize what all you could do with it, but it is definitely cool. Let me go over here to screen share, and so you can see here what it does. Um, it's just and this is basically I installed the strands and I went up and took a picture with my phone, and you're done. It's not. It is pretty freaking awesome what all you can do with it. So. But again, it's not difficult at all to do, and it's really cool to do it. So again, this is Twinkly here. Let's see, this was one set of them, and this was another set, and then I did two sets of each window. And I'm thinking about putting a set right here. I don't know. I don't know if I got enough to do it because I want to keep some Twinklies for my Jeep because they're having a Jeep parade coming up, and I want to put them on my Jeep so that way I can be cool about that. Trying to figure out how to attach them to the Jeep so then that way driving down the road with the Jeep, or I don't know if I'll be able to drive down the road with them, but that kind of stuff. Pain in the butt to store garland. It is. Any recommendations for better conversions? I have high traffic on my site and Facebook ads, but bad conversion. Buttons, phone number, bigger, clickable, are big and clickable. Yeah. Make sure that it's not an easy sell. I usually don't put pricing on the website because I want to at least try to hear them tell me no versus, That way I can explain myself versus, hey, this is our average. No, I'm not going to put that on my website, um, because I want to at least try to give them a little bit of, um, just so that I can try to sell them on the phone a little bit. So that way I can do that. Obviously, again, you want big buttons, clickable phone numbers, stuff like that, which that's what you said you have. So, them are some things that you want to do. Um, the biggest, try other sources. Like I was saying on my buddy here, Jason Murphy. 1,000 signs. You gotta have a lot to be able to get that phone to ring. Even Don. A lot of guys are spending money in AdWords, not just Facebook. I never had much luck with Facebook. Whether it was pressure washing or Christmas lights, because everybody in there wants stuff for cheap or free, and well, obviously this isn't a cheap or free service. This service does cost a lot of money at the end of the day. I'm a great fluffer. Jason knows. Is acceptable to use the factory clips on each socket, or is that unprofessional? I have a commercial building that seems to only allow us to use factory socket clips. Um, I know a guy down in Evansville. He does it. I wouldn't highly recommend it because they do fall off pretty easy. But the clips we use. It's not like we're damaging anything at that point. You know, I mean, if you want to talk about factory clip, you put a freaking best clip on it, and it's as with the bulb, it's as factory. It looks as factory as we go. So I that's what I would shoot for. I would do something like that. How do you find help? How to become the boss man versus employee on your job? Um, First thing I'm going to tell you is probably make sure. Come on now. Make sure. Honestly, this is some things I would do for to look at doing them. I would start listening and learning about leadership, because honestly, what makes a good boss and what makes a bad boss and what makes a good employee and what makes a good employer and all that kind of stuff is leadership. You know, you got to be able to lead. You got to be able to help with to be able to have systems. You got to have systems to let them learn. Have mistakes, because they're going to have mistakes. It's just a matter of fact. Christmas lights isn't too bad for that until you get somebody up on the roof and they're leading jobs. Then that's where you really got to learn how to lead people, and you need to learn how to teach leadership to your employees so that they can help you grow your business at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, we want to grow our business, and so to do that, you need to do that. One podcast that I listen to is the Leadership Podcast, and it's by Craig. I know I'm gonna butcher his last name, so that's why I want to look it up here. Let me see if I can find it here, so that way I can show it to you. Episodes. It's a leadership podcast, and he does really well with leadership. He's actually a pastor. He's a pastor of the Life Church. It's a big church, but he does this podcast. It's called, like I say, it's called the Leadership Podcast. Let's see if I can show it up here. It's called. Well, let me go back here. It's called the Leadership Podcast. Boom. By Krog. That's why I didn't want to try to say that last name, because I knew I would butcher the heck out of it. But he talks about leadership, and I know he is a pastor of a church, of a large, very large church. I think they have like 20 sites across the country, like 11 different states and stuff. But he don't really go into that a whole lot. He really talks about leadership and how to grow an organization by leading, and how to train leaders, and how to, you know, it, he always says that, you can't have, what is it, you can't have growth and something else, because one kills the other. If you try to have growth and you don't have, shoot, I forget, the last one I listened to, I can't remember it now, but basically you will kill growth by trying to, struck it down, because here's the deal. At the end of the day, if we're trying to grow something, we want to have rules, but rules will hurt growth, because the reason why it will hurt growth is because we're not going to allow that person to try to come up and be a leader. We're going to try to suppress that person. So we have to be, help with growth and all that kind of stuff. That probably made it more confusing than it was worth, what I was trying to get across there, but it is what it is. But so again, Christmas lights is definitely something that um, is is a great thing, and there is a lot of money to be made in it. Like I say, I know guys that are charging buku right now. Even Donovan, this guy right here, um, you know, he's gonna probably do close to 250, 300,000 this year with two guys, three guys, and himself. So it can be done. You don't need a large crew. He's going to be very profitable at the end of it, because he is raising his prices to $10 a foot, $12 a foot. You can do that when you get so far booked out. Guess what? You can raise your prices, because yesterday he scheduled $30,000 worth of work. Well, guess what? You only got so many days to get $30,000 worth of work up. So if I got to do 30,000, I'm going to raise my prices so that if anybody takes that bid, well, guess what? And the beautiful thing about getting those $10 and $12 um, gigs for this year is the next 3 year. If you can get them on a 3 year contract, the next 3 years is like money in the bank. And so that is definitely something you want to be able to do. Is this still profitable your first year? Yes, it can be. Yes, it is. Obviously, you're going to have to spend money in marketing, which you got to do that anyway. But it is very profitable, even doing it from the get go. So it is profitable, because the way I teach the quote is profitable. I do not teach. I do not teach cheap, because I want to have you successful and grow a business. I know not everybody are business people. At the end of the day, it does take work. You got to go out there and push. You got to go out there and put them signs up. You got to go out there and put more signs up. You got to be posting on Facebook. You got to be posting in Facebook groups. You got to be putting up more signs. You got to be posting in more Facebook groups. You got to be posting in next door groups. You got to be posting up more signs. And it's just one of those things that it goes over and over and over and over. How do you talk to them into a 3 year contract? I give them a percentage off. So if I'm at like $8, $6, I might only give 10% off, 10 or 15% off all 3 years. So I will give them, if they will say they will sign a 3 year contract, I will give them all 3 years for 15, especially if I'm at $8 a foot, I'll give all 3 years for 15% off. Because even at the end of the day, 15% off of $8 a foot, what is that? 10% of $8 would be 80 cents. So $1.20. I'm still going to be, at $7.80 a foot. So I'm still making money to be able to make that happen and keep it going and making money. So that's how I'm getting my $8 a foot. I'm discounting it down, so that way when I'm discounting it down, it's putting them into a 3 year contract. And that's the good thing about Christmas lights is if you can get them. So I know it's a hard close rate to get them closed, but the beautiful thing is the return rate is about 80%. So if you get 100 clients this year, you're going to get 80 of those next year. And that is a beautiful thing at the end of the day. I signed up with BBB today. I think it was for 48 months. Anything I can leverage out of the other than the logo and another citation and trust? Not really. I don't know anyone who does all of that. What's that? The signs, putting up Facebook group signs, putting up Facebook group signs, putting in Facebook groups. Guy that went to our training has collected enough deposits already to buy materials, 16-foot enclosure, and new to him a new truck. Yep, Nicholas Yalls, baby. So, it's about getting out there and marketing. It's about getting out there and being confident in it. It's about being, a lot of times, we lack the confidence. Because if we don't believe in that people will pay that $7, $8, $6, $7, $8 a foot, it's hard to get them to believe it. But if we know that we can do it, and the guy that he's talking about is a very good salesman, very good at making sure that happens, bam, it just makes things go. Facebook, LinkedIn signs, website, Facebook, LinkedIn signs. That's exactly what we got to do. We got to keep pushing. We got to keep going through it. We got to keep making sure at the end of the day that we can grow our business and be successful, because we don't want to start a business that's going to fail. When we start a business that's going to fail, that's no good. And I don't want you to start a business that's going to fail, because what happens when I teach you to start a business that's going to fail? First off, you're not going to charge enough. So then you're going to water down the market. And I'm already hearing it. Oh, nobody wants, you're just teaching all these people and you're just watering down the market. Okay, why do I think Donovan's getting $10 a foot? Why is my buddy in Louisville getting $12 a foot? It isn't because I'm trying to teach to water down the market, because I'll be the first one. You can ask Donovan. I am the first one will say $6 to $8 a foot starting out. There is hardly anybody else out there teaching starting out at $6 to $8 a foot. I even know some big, large other training companies that do not teach that. And there's a reason why I teach it. Is it easy? No, it's not easy to charge that. I mean, it's going to be tough. You're going to close 1 to 2 jobs out of every 10. You're going to make money. Daggone, I want you to make money. Well, yes, I want you to make money. How do I figure out a business budget? Set your price and go for it without asking. I don't know what you mean. How do I figure out without asking? How do you figure out a business budget without asking? Are you asking? I don't understand the question. What happens when the customer asks if they keep the lights? Do you mark up the price to sell them? No. I tell them that this is a service, and in this service, this is what I do. And by me doing that, it will make sure that your lights are running all year long. We help you design it. We bring the lights. They're all LED lights. They're all commercial grade lights. After that, if you have an issue, we will make sure your lights keep running all year long. And at the end of the year, we make sure that they get taken down and stored. And so by this service, it is done of that. If I sold it that way, then if something went wrong, I could charge you service calls and all that kind of stuff. So by doing it this way, it is an all-inclusive service. So that way you will make sure that your lights will be hassle-free. Because at the end of the day, everybody wants hassle-free lights. That's what everybody wants, is hassle-free lights. I'm going to put Christmas lights on an apartment since it's lower level, single level. I mean, yes, I actually did a couple around condos. The one they just had right over the door around the condos. You put them around the railings, all different kinds of things. Sorry, the business owners' budgets that want Christmas lights. So basically, you're going to have to ask if you can get it. Donovan kind of pushes that a lot, of asking and figuring out what their budget is. Because if they're on a $300 budget, obviously we can't do nothing about that. If they're on a $10,000 budget, then we can sit there and we can make that happen. If we don't know what their budget is, we're going to give options. We're going to give a $1,000 option, and we're going to give a $10,000 option. And we'll probably give a $5,000 in the middle. And so, we kind of got to see what what their budget is. If we know they have a $5,000 budget, okay, I'm going to give a $5,000 budget, but I might also give my $10,000 budget too. So then that way next year they might say, I'm going to do that $10,000 budget. So that is why we want to make it so that way everybody gets their chance. And if when we're installing lights on HOAs and trees and different things like that, obviously we got to look at time and how long is it going to take to put up these Christmas lights and all of that kind of stuff. Man, I watched your video on putting up Xmas lights with PV pipe C on a pipe on the garage. That helped me out a lot. Awesome. Yeah, that I like that just because you're not damaging nothing, you're not screwing into nothing, all that kind of stuff. So that's the reason why I like doing that. How many lights should I get for my apartment? It looks like a little house, so I'll put it at the point in lining my apartment like a house. Um, you probably could get away with like a case of minis. That's a 24 strands. You might not need that many. If you're going to do it in C9, you probably only need 30, 40 feet, maybe 50 feet. If you're lucky, that's the bigger bulbs. That's these bulbs right here. And some of that is going to figure out how many feet you need for that. Hey Jason, what's up? How many LEDs C9s can I string on one outlet? A boatload. I've had up to like 1,400 off of one strand, off of one outlet. And I think I was still on it like 7-8 amps. The problem of it is if we do too long, it's kind of like the garden hose effect, and it's friction loss. Same deal. If we try to do 1,400, that 1,400 was split in the middle, so I had 700 going this way and 700 going that way, and so so when we have 700 going this way and 700 going that way, at the end is the friction loss. We're still okay. If I did 1,400 in one line and had it here, the problem that we may have is by the time we start getting out there at the end, our voltage may be too low. We're going to start dropping voltage the farther we go out. And I had this happen to me it wasn't so much that it was all on that line. I had a big HOA and they had all these trees out there, and it was a long driveway into this apartment complex, and they had all these other lights on. So during the daytime, I had 120 volts. During the nighttime, when all these lights started coming on and all my lights started coming on, I was down to 90 volts. My minis wasn't working at 90 volts. They were going, and so some of them worked and most of them didn't. And that's because of friction loss. They had that one wire that took all that power out there, but it was pulling so much as it went. And it's the same way when we're doing it on a line. Even you could probably even do more if you had a power here and you had lights going this way, lights going that way, and lights going this way, or something like that. Electric hose reel to roll them bad boys up. Thank you. Have you ever done lights around a garage, windows, doors, etc., with stucco and brick? Actually, I have several videos on that, and that's what this guy up here was talking. I have 3 or 4 videos on that that was talking about the pipes. I do them out of plastic PVC pipe, and they fit right up in there. And if you're doing stucco and it has shutters, I've actually take my zip ties and I'll zip tie that piece right up to that shutter, so that way I'm not gluing stuff in and damaging, taking a chance of damaging anything. That's my plan. Learn this year and wait till 2021. I'm kind of iffy with COVID this year. Hey, there's a lot of business this year if you wanted to do it. I am 95% installing their lights. No luck installing my own lights. You know how you get rid of that? Is you charge enough and they don't want you to install them. You charge $300 an hour and it's a 2-hour minimum. That's how you do that. How many strings of LED C9s do I need to do about a 15-foot evergreen tree? Um, hmm, I'm assuming you're probably talking about the strands from like Home Depot or Lowe's. I'm guessing. I would probably say 15 feet. You probably need about 4 or 5 boxes of them, 4 or 5 strands, maybe a couple more than that. How do you recommend selling at $10 to $15 range? Is that commercial customers? The $10, what some of these $10 to $15 range right now is residential. The guys that are so busy, I wouldn't sell it at that if I was just starting out. I'd be in that $6 to $8 range, um, just because, um, just because it is, um, it it they got so much work that they can't get it done. So that's why they can go up higher. They don't need the close rate to be high. They don't want the close rate to be high. So if they're getting jobs at that $10 to $15 range, that's what they want. So that's how that works. I hear ribbed wire side to small prong. Then I hear the other way around. It don't matter. It does not matter. Back in the day when LED, so an LED is a light emitting diode. And way that works is a light emitting diode. And so what it is it's a diode. And back in the day, well, still a diode is a one-way check valve. It'll allow electric go one way, but it won't allow electric come back the other way. And that's why they use diodes. It's just a light emitting diode. Does that make sense? So with that said, back in the day, 3 4 years ago, it mattered which way the wire was because it wouldn't work because when power comes into that diode, and if it would hit that one-way check valve, then it won't allow that light to come on. And if it was the right way and it came through, it would allow the light on. Well, now it don't matter because the way they make this, they when they the side of it before it gets there will only allow it to go in the right way. So it doesn't matter which way you wire it up. Back in the day, 3 4 years ago, you were absolutely right. You had to make sure the rough side went with the big prong and blah 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 blah. Now it don't matter. It does not matter. I hope that makes sense. Closed 8 deals so far at $6 a foot. It's my first year doing Christmas lights. That's awesome, dude. Awesome, awesome, awesome. When stringing lights, should I plug it in first to see if they reach? Sorry, newbie question here. Um, when I'm starting, um, I wouldn't say so much where they reach. Um, I would just, I mean, you can. It don't hurt. But you're not going to put them up once and then do them again. I always just put them up as I go. And then if I need more, I just add more and figure out what I got to do with the extra. Um, I'm currently at $8 for custom lighting. What's the number one color to sell? Warm white. This right here. Warm white. Um, I did $500,000 in Christmas lights. Christmas Lights Cincinnati did $500,000 last year in Christmas lights, and 90% right here, warm white. Keep it simple and get her done. Keep it simple and get it done. Is $45 a strand on bushes and trees okay? I hate doing them. If you hate doing them, it's fine. We would charge $30 to $40 for bushes and stuff like that, per strand. And if it was something that we knew was going to be a pain in the butt, we would go up even more because minis will give you problems. Are um, minis are definitely something that can be issues and give you problems. Your callbacks aren't going to be from C9s. Your callbacks are going to be from the bushes, the garland, all that kind of stuff. So definitely, definitely, definitely makes sense. You demand. Yeah. So that's how those. Yeah, because you were the one asking about the ribs. Yeah. So like I say, it's just the wire, and it doesn't matter anymore. You can put them in any which way. That's why even like even like our timers, you know, I will cut off the third prong, the third leg, because it doesn't matter. We got a 2 wire at the after that thing, so it's not like it's got a ground coming back. So it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Is it better to put C9s or minis on an evergreen tree? Depends on what you like. It depends on what you like. It depends on what your customer likes. I like minis. Donovan likes C9s. I think minis look better. I think this looks better with minis versus C9s. Personal opinion, I don't care. Is it which way's cheaper to put up in an install? Probably C9s is going to be cheaper. You're going to use less and you're going to do all that kind of stuff. Now, does that mean you need to charge less? I say no. And see, that's where I go different with a lot of people. A lot of people out there teach, well, if you do C9s, you can go cheaper. Why do I want to cheapen my service? That's just dumb at my point. I can give you this tree in C9 or I can give it into you in minis. I'm not going to give you much of a break one way or the other. You're paying this much, whether it's this way or that way. It's just a matter of how much profit I'm putting in my pocket. And yes, I know I talk about profit, but at the end of the day, a business ain't going to grow without profit. Profit is what makes me be able to put these lights on trees at my house. Profit is definitely something that will help me grow my business. People think profit is a 4 letter word. It's not. Profit is a good thing at the end of the day. You know, Profit is one of those things that definitely make you staying in business. For bushes, do you use a net lighting or you just upswing a single strand? Just the strands. I never them net lights. I fought one of them, and that was all I did. I fought at that sucker, and I'm like, I'm done with these. I had a customer that wanted every light perfect, and I had all these. It looked like dog crap by the time I was done. I was like, that's so stupid. I'm getting rid of these things. And then if one light goes out, the whole freaking thing went out. It was a pain in the neck. Having issues with competitors pulling out my signs and putting up their own in the exact same spot. I can't deal with them putting in next to my sign or even just taking my signs, but not replacing them. I had a war of that one time. I was accused of stealing somebody's signs. When I get accused of something I didn't do, guess what I did? I went and stole. I had a bounty on all his signs at that point for my guys. Don't accuse me of something I'm not doing. So, you know, that's usually a war you don't want to get into too much. It's I know it sucks. And if you got in a call him out. Call him out is one thing you can do. Hey, don't steal my signs. I mean, obviously you got to make sure that it's him. Don't be accusing anybody, or just play dumb. Hey, I was just seeing, that kind of thing. Put them up on street poles. Get the Guyman pole out and staple them babies up on the street pole. That's a way that keeps people from getting them down and stuff. By the way, took your advice and bought Mr. Longarm and paint roller to put up my C9s I just asked earlier. Yeah, yeah. Did you cold call businesses? I did not cold call too much of them. Um, I did a lot of LinkedIn. That's how I did I did a lot of LinkedIn and email marketing. I didn't have staff to sit there and call businesses of cold calling. Um, I figured it was worth my time working my LinkedIn and working my email list versus sitting on a phone and trying to find the right person to talk to give the right person to quote. That's the finding who the gatekeepers are and all that kind of stuff. I bought one of those extender arms and love it. Very helpful. Mr. Richard. Splitzers in trees now. Hang 10 balls, collect 5 to $750. And done. I need to get some of those. Where are you getting those at, Donovan? Are they on your site or are they you getting them through somebody else? I need to look at some of those because my mom's got a little tree I can put them in. Um, that way I can do a video on it. But when did you start the Christmas light business? What inspired you? So in 2000, I started my pressure washing business. I was a full time firefighter, and I needed something to do um, to have extra money for hobbies and vacations. So I started my pressure washing business in 2013. I wanted to grow my pressure washing business, so in 2014 I grew it, and I needed to keep my employees busy all year long. So that's why I decided to start doing Christmas lights in 2014. That's when I started hiring employees. And at this point, also, my wife was full time at Toyota. She quit her job because the business was doing well enough that she couldn't stay, or she could stay home. And so that is why I started Christmas lights. Before that, I really didn't care about Christmas lights much. I never put them up. I hated them. I was just like everybody else. You pull them out and you got this big ball of funk because you didn't put them back right and all that kind of stuff. And then once I started learning how to do them the right way, then I love doing Christmas lights. I still don't mind doing them now. I enjoy doing Christmas lights. The one hobby that I really love to do is I usually will. My kids don't always like it sometimes, but I will go out and try to find like cool houses and take videos and pictures. I put them up on here before, different houses, different things like that. But I really like the houses that do the the pixels and the dancing lights and all that kind of stuff. That I really enjoy a lot, and that definitely makes me happy when I do that. How did you use LinkedIn to get business? Um, how did I use LinkedIn to get business? Go here, christmaslightshelp.com/free, and I have a whole class on it. Basically, I connect with people. You can look up, and I teach all this in there. You can look up how to find property managers, facility managers, all different kinds of things in there. How much are LED lights? You can go to christmaslights.io, and there will take you to that site he was asked. The other one is, but christmaslights.io, you will buy me a cup of coffee, no charge to you if you go through there, and I appreciate it. I don't even drink coffee, but I do drink sweet tea. So if you go to christmaslights.io, and then that site will get you over there. It is an affiliate link. Again, it does not cost you a thing. You don't pay any extra, but you do buy me a sweet tea. And sweet tea is really good. It makes me fat, so I got to quit drinking that too. So my signs are so fond of. I went to give an estimate in a gated community. When I left, I thought, let's drop a sign. 3 calls to date from it, and sold the one that while I was there. $10 a strand. Yep, that's about what you're going to pay for Christmas lights, for commercial grade lights. Um, my site is better, christmaslights.io, or unless you're talking about the splitzers. If you are, put me a link up there for me. Um, what's very nice. Also, thank you for your service as a firefighter. Yeah, I quit that job in August of this year, so I am still on water rescue. I am a diver for Boone County Water Rescue around here. Um, if anybody knows anything about 75 right now, if you're going up 75 through Cincinnati, I would highly suggest not to, because the main bridge is shut down. There was a large, if you want to see about it, look up Brent Sprint's Bridge, and there was a large tractor trailer fire. Caught 2 tractor trailers on fire, and I think the bridge is done. And this is the busiest bridge in the country. It's like either the busiest or the in the top 2 busiest bridges in the country, and it is shut down. It has made traffic around Cincinnati area a living nightmare. Period. But yeah, look up Brent Springs Bridge fire, and the fire is just coming out. It was a double decker bridge, and fire is just coming out everywhere. And they said it got over 1,600 degrees. Well, steel starts doing stupid stuff at like 800 degrees. So that bridge is done, done, toast. And then they shut the next bridge down because it's the Roebling Bridge, and it was built in the 1800s. And it's only had a weight limit of like 11 tons, and you had all this traffic on it. So they shut that bridge down too. So to get through Cincinnati, you got to go all the way around the loop, and it's a long loop to do it. And it's made traffic a nightmare around here. And it's not only closed one, it's closed both ways. You can't go either which way on there. How do you sell twinkly lights or the pixel lights to customers? Twinkle, I would sell twinkly lights. There's no way I would do pixel lights because you can't make no money off of them. I would probably just do 3 times my cost. So, I'd be probably, those twinkly lights that Donovan has on the site. I think they're like $400, $450. You could get $900 out of them for, that tree that I did, stuff like that. Thank you for answering all the questions. Splitzers. I buy your sweet tea 3 times a week, and I appreciate it because I know that I've helped you so much. That's the way you pay me back. Because I know that your Christmas light business is killing it, and I love it. I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome, Richard, that you will be able to help your daughter and change the way that you can help her grow up and be successful even herself. And that is freaking amazing. What you do is a very hard task. I wouldn't want that for no, I mean, you do an amazing job of being able to take care of your daughter, and that is not an easy task. I know I would probably be pulling out my hair if I had to take care of my daughters without my wife. So that is amazing that you're able to do that and have a business that will allow you to spend more time with her and be successful. And that is, at the end of the day, that's what we want. I know I know some other people on here, that quit working weekends and only working during the week. And that is what we want to do. We don't want to work in our business so much that we can't enjoy anything. Nobody wants that at the end of the day. That's just a pain in the neck at the end of the day. That's something that is not healthy a lot of times. It's not any of that kind of stuff. So again, make sure you are, and that goes back to, if we're charging the right prices, if we're charging the right stuff, if we're charging enough and we are doing what we need to do, then we can live a life that will give us two things. That will give us financial freedom because we're making money, and we're making more money than we would ever be able to make doing anything else. And then the next thing is it can give us time freedom. And one thing that we can't get back is time. We can make as much money as we want, but at the end of the day, money's not going to make us happy. One thing that we can't make more of is time. There's two things in life, and one of those things is you're going to die one day. That's a guarantee. So we only have so much time a week. We only have so much time a day. We only have so much time a year. So that is why I want to make sure that you guys are being successful. $6,500 this week just in lights. That's awesome. That's awesome. So are the splitters a secret? Where do you get them at? I don't know. I'll see if I can put them up somewhere. My goal is to get to 100 to 200,000 during the holiday season so I can have more time with my family and travel. And that's something you can do for sure. I started on this 7 days ago and have $6,200 worth of jobs scheduled for next week. That's awesome, dude. That is awesome, Zach. I'm going to feel very dumb for asking, but what are these splitzers and what do they do? Let's see if I can look them up here real quick. I'll show you what they are. He got it on his videos here. Let me see if I can find it here. See if I can find it here real quick before I jump off here. Let's see. Where are they at, Jason? See if I can look it up here. Christmas. This is, I'll show you what they are here. That way you can see what they are. Shut up before it kicks me off here. I thought he had them up here somewhere. Thank you for answering in advance. Well, I thought he had them up here. Let me go to this place. I know where he got it here, where it shows it. Basically, they look like a ball. They look like a crazy ball looking things. They look like a crazy ball looking thing, is what they look like. Here we go. I'll show you right here. Right here they are. They're these looking things. Bam. So they look like a ball looking thing, you know? That's what they look like. So that's what they look like. And basically, you can see right here, they got little LEDs along them. Right here, they got little LEDs all along here, is what they are, basically. You can see these little LEDs. They're basically, this is one right here that is right in front of the light, right here where my hand is, where that hand is in the arrow. This is what they look like up close. So that's, you know, you can see the tree right there with all of them in it. So that's what they are. That's what they are. Thank you for answering in advance. I appreciate it. I found you in a page just recently trying to find better ways to hang lights. My new pixel lights. Now you have me wanting to start a light business. Laugh out loud. Thanks for talking about it. So my friend that has a large display, Lights on Tasha. If you look up, I actually did a video on it on here, Lights on Tasha. And he did those lights. He did them for 2 or 3 years. And this year he started hanging lights for other people. He actually started a Christmas light business. So definitely. I will use your link to order my next round of lights. I have learned a lot from your videos. Awesome. I appreciate it, Zach. Again, it's about the cheapest price you're going to get. It's through the wholesale light place. Again, it's I can get lights a little bit cheaper through another company, but where I was having issues, and they're out of stock out of a lot of things. And so this guy has them in stock. You get it through the shipping, and I recommend it. I buy lights through him myself, so I would recommend him anyway. And like I say, if you go through christmaslights.io, again, you buy me a sweet tea. But that's it. So if you don't have no more questions, let me see something here. Here we go right here. Let me, I'm going to put up a link right here for them splitters. I think I will. Copy. I'm going to put it into the thing here, into the comment. And that's a YouTube video that you can go see of the how to get grapevine balls is what they're called. A DIY. So you can go check out that video. I've talked to the new company. They are very helpful and pleasant. Yeah, Dustin Howes is an awesome dude. Very good dude. If you keep going through my site, it keeps giving me my percentage affiliate link, and I appreciate it. So I like it. I'm in Lima, Ohio. I would love to talk about where you get stuff more locally. I never did. Nowhere. I actually went to college in Lima, Ohio. I got my auto diesel associate at Northwestern up there for, it was a 3-year program, and I got it done in a year and a half. I started in 98 and completed it in 2000. So I know Lima, Ohio very well. We always made fun of people in Lima, Ohio. You can watch a dog run away for 3 days. It's so flat up there. So I was asking about faster shipping. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, and I know where you're probably hurting of trying to get stuff. So um, the problem with faster shipping is the shipping cost will eat you alive, dude. That's the issue with it. It's very expensive on shipping. Shipping this year, shipping has killed it. Killed pricing on stuff. So a lot of people, you can get lights cheaper some places, but the time you pay shipping, it ain't gonna be any cheaper at the end of it. I'm not here. I'm not there. I'm not from here. I'm from Texas. Gotcha. 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 Um, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to jump off here. I will be live back again at pressurewashhelp.com/YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Um, good luck. Shipping sucks. Closer to Thanksgiving, the worse it gets. Yep. Definitely for sure. Check me out over there. I will be talking about how to make money because that's what I like to talk about. I like making you successful at the end of the day. And you can run a pressure washing Christmas light business and be very successful. I've got several guys making lots of money from running a pressure washing Christmas light business. It is, I mean, I made $1 million by doing it. And so now I teach you how to do it. And my goal is to make sure that you are successful. You have all the tools you need. You have all the information you need, that you will go there and knock it out of the ballpark. Because that's what I want you to do. I want you all to be successful at the end of the day. I will be having some more videos coming up. I have a video on twinkly lights. I have a video on how to hang lights in a tree that are twinkly lights and all of that kind of stuff. So again, everybody will happy Thanksgiving, which is next Thursday night, which is normally my live night. I may move my live to a Wednesday night. We'll see. Or I might just be like, you're not supposed to leave the house anyway, is the CDC bullcrap guidelines and stuff, if you believe in that stuff. So I probably could have it on a Thursday night and make no difference. But but for you guys that are in the business, this week your phone will blow up. You think it was bad before, Richard? This week, everybody will want their lights up by Thanksgiving, and they will call this week. This week is like 100 people will call. If you got your information out there, 100 people will call you this week. This week is the busiest week for Christmas light quotes. Guarantee it. Every year, this week, the week of Thanksgiving, is when the phone will blow up. So hope you all have a good Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much. And if I don't see you on Thursday night, I'll see you on Wednesday night. Talk at y'all later. Again, I do have several things for, I do have some videos coming up. Thanks for all the help and info. Met you at Washthon, and you're a cool ass dude, down to earth. Mike, I tried to. Yep, it's getting busy for sure. So have a great weekend and go out there and be successful. Take action. Because if you don't take action, nothing will happen. If you were a closer, what did you put there? If you're a closer, I'd hire you. So see y'all later.